Alright guys, I'm currently playing two-player Femboy Tycoon on Roblox in the middle of my fisheries Zoom class. And I'm procrastinating my project that's due later today. And you might be like, why? And then you might not, because procrastination might be the most relatable thing in the entire world. But it's like 5 pages, I have to finish it tonight. It's going swell. And it's double space, 12 point font, Times New Roman. So it's not going to be that much. And I'm allowed to use images? Are you for real? This is not even a real project. Let me make sure my Zoom microphone isn't on. Wonderful. But, right, what's it on? It's a fisheries class. Oceanic white tip sharks, right? And these things are epic, right? They're literally just like sea dogs, you know? Most sharks that have a reputation of being aggressive and like tiger sharks or stuff like that are great hammerheads. Like, they don't really even interact with people or have any records of violence and all that. Meanwhile, oceanic white tip sharks are kind of just like so curious, and then they really don't fear anything. Meanwhile, most sharks just like generally avoid human interaction. Oceanic white tip sharks will literally just check anything out. So yeah, that's part of the danger, is they'll just interact more with humans. But here's a crazy thing. Lower estimates estimate that globally their populations have declined since 1970. Isn't that crazy? And it's like the even crazier part is the little amount of data we have, so we can't really confirm or deny anything about this. It's like finding out. The fun part about science is finding out stuff you like and how much more research can be done about it. Like shark reproduction and gestation periods. Gestation, I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's gestation. My hair looks terrible. But nobody knows too much about these specific sharks. And like Greenland sharks, megamouth sharks, all we know is Greenland sharks live long. Megamouth sharks, there are under 100 official sightings. That's why if you look up megamouth shark, it's going to be the same photo or like the same 2 photos all the time. So it's like, how much do we know about these sharks? Literally nothing. And it's because there isn't that much research going into it, because I mean it's unprofitable, but it's also like fun. Imagine your job, right? Your job, instead of being like a federal a justice on the Supreme Court or the president, is literally just, oh, gotta go look at sharks, gotta go scuba, I'm packing up my things, and then it's just grabbing the fish, you know? And it's crazy. It's really, sharks are just so cool. Like, they're literally sea dogs, and oceanic white tips are specifically the coolest because they just look the coolest. Like, that's just my personal thing. I'm like, I look at them and I'm like, those orphans are pretty cool. The white tips, pretty cool. And just their color, and I just like pelagic species too, just because I think it's cool. The idea of being an aerodynamic fish in like a dead zone of the ocean, although it's not like a dead zone, but it's like, it's not a coral reef, so there isn't like as much production. There isn't like the zooxanthellae relationship with coral, so it's like blah, 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 blah. But, like, this is the most fun part of science, is realizing how much there is to discover and realizing that you could do that. You could do shark research. You could shark. Like, it's so fun just finding out little stuff about shark, like shark vagina, right? I was researching cloacas the other day, and I'm not sure how sure any of this is, just because I was like a quick little search and then I started giggling and I was like, hoo. But it's like their reproduction system, excretory system, and osmosis system are all in one. They have one genital just for all of that. So meanwhile, your vagina might bleed out and pee and give you cramps and the occasional sex. Shark vaginas, I don't know if sharks have periods. I don't know. But sharks are peeing, pooping, regulating their salt levels, and reproducing. And I think I said one more thing. I don't know. But either way, the vagina regulating their salt level is pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty epic. Maybe I'm lying about all of this, and maybe I don't know anything. But it's just so much fun to learn about sharks. And also, a big issue is finning, shark finning, right? In the U.S., right? Woo, U.S. Finning is entirely banned. Even like any commercial trade with fins, entirely banned. Just because it brought down one of the most populous species of all time, oceanic white-tip shark. Because in the 60s and 70s, for reference, I don't have like official reports, but like through people with PhDs and researchers who study in the field, like what they say is that like there are reports of them being so abundant when people would try and do research, they would just throw dynamite in the ocean to ward them off, just because they would be like, what's going on? And they're known to, like, sharks are known as sea dogs by some mariners. It's just like an unofficial name. Like it's like calling California Cali, you know, like sometimes some people do it, some people don't. Like it's kind of just like, I mean, some people from California do it too, so it's not like a dead giveaway that you're not from there, but it's just like, yeah. But they're just known as sea dogs for their curiosity, just to la 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 follow ships, and the oceanic white-tip shark is kind of just one of the ones who did that the most. And then also, dude, 6 shark attacks, right? You know Jaws the movie? Of course you do. It really should have been with the oceanic white-tip shark, because great whites, mackerel sharks are pretty friendly and scared generally, but oceanic white-tip sharks, biggest shark attack in history, or just like any plane that goes down or any boat that crashes, oceanic white-tip's just like, oh, we're gathering around this now, we're gonna have a feast, yay. And with the USS Mariner and like, I don't know. Oh, hey Shane.
Hey.
You want to feature in the WM 1 recording?
Sure.
Okay. I don't know what I'm literally just yapping.
Look at this.
What? Look at what?
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm talking about sharks.
You are?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Literally just like procrastinating my project.
Did you talk about the sharks you made?
No, I have not. But also I'm playing 2-player
Oh
Femboy Tycoon on Roblox.
That is so peak.
Yeah, and I'm in the middle of a Zoom meeting too. Pretty epic.
Pretty epic. Epic morning.
That's my roommate Shane. I hate him to death.
Wow.
So I wish he would die. Truthfully, I hate nobody else in the world more than him. But yeah. But it's fun just because, where was I? Oh yes, USS Mariner. Basically a ship got attacked. They sent a distress signal. People ignored it, which was kind of funny. And then the sharks answered the distress signal. They said, we got this. Let us put you out of your misery. And it's estimated that oceanic white-tip sharks like just killed 700 of the people. So they're pretty cool. Finning is a big issue though. Finning is a very big issue, and the U.S. is doing well to stop it, but how do you regulate international waters? Like, it's not something with borders where you can just like, oh, hey, set up posts at the borders. This isn't going to happen. Like with drug control and stuff like that. But it's the open ocean. How do you even, like, there's submarines, there's boats, there's faster boats. It's also so large. It's international waters. Like, how do you regulate something when you can't regulate something? And it's really an issue in Asiatic countries, and it dates back to, like, one of the Chinese dynasties, like 1300 to 1600 period, where basically shark fin soup was used to be just like, oh, I'm rich, you are my guest, try this delicacy, because shark hunting was not as popular then, and the ocean was like, ooh, this rare fish tastes delicious. This is something of class. Not all you lowly peasants can have this. And, like, it was an incredibly unique texture and food, and it provides, like, almost no nutritional value, but it was just like, oh, look at this, I'm rich. You can't have this anywhere else. So that's where it started, and then it kind of just like, oh, well, it was just seen as a thing of class, and that continued into the modern day, where it's mostly high class and used to celebrate events, but, and then it kind of like became a goal for the middle class, you know, where in the United States, a goal for the middle class might be own a really good house, or own a really cool car, or have a wife and loving family. In Asia, the only goal is to have shark fin soup if you're middle class. So if you're not having shark fin soup, you're losing. That's why they're killing all the sharks, because they want to win. But no, it really is an issue, because it's like, how do you change something how do you change a culture, basically, to prevent sharks from dying? Because, like, hunting a whole shark and then using their whole body for food is a different issue, but finning, when saying finning specifically, it's like, you just take all the fins. You take pectoral, anal, dorsals, and then the 2 back ones. Forgot what they're called right now, but I swear I know it. But it's literally just, it's funny. It's so funny. They just take the shark, cut off the fins, keep the fins, throw the shark corpse back in the water, So it either suffocates because it can't swim, you know. Most sharks, I believe, are ram oxygenators, so they just keep swimming, and they don't have, like, some of them do have gill muscles to pump oxygen, just like, but the other ones just have to ram swim. So if they can't control their swimming, then, of course, they're going to die. They're not going to be able to breathe. And then also, yeah, I mean, if you lose all your limbs, you're going to bleed to death. So, spoiler alert. Y como siempre, adiós, chachas.